Welcome back to All Things ETH. My name is Aaron, and on this channel we talk about all things Ethereum. We talk about projects, NFTs, play to earn, DeFi, SoFi, and price. And today we're getting back into my weekly update on Friend.Tech, guys, the social fi app that is rocking right now. And we're going to get into some of the drama that's happened over the last week. A lot has changed. Many updates since my last update on Friday last week. We got points, and then we got the global feed, guys. And the voting system had to do with voting on the global feed. So let's get on into it right now. So here is the global feed itself, and there's some cool little UI things I'd like to talk about, as well as the voting, what's going on with that, and how you get points to vote on, or votes available to vote with, right? And so first and foremost, we have, this is the global feed. We have everybody's PFPs and their names, but then we also have their key price and their portfolio value, which really gives you a good sense of, the value of each of these people. So as far as their presence on the app goes, right? And how much value they have in their portfolio. Are they whales? Are they shrimps? Are they in between, right? So that's interesting. And then we also have how many votes. The global front page is going to be ranked by votes, right? Now there's a couple of other features that are cool. You get recents, and this is global recents. This is like just the most recent tab as far as who's posting when. So a lot of people are probably watching that more of a timeline feed rather than the front page news feed, right? And then you also have your friends, and you also have notifications. So this is how many votes you get on your personal posts. And how do we do votes? The votes work like this. On the front page, I'm just going to show you how we do it. You click on this voting number over here, these little crowns. 35K has been voted on this specific post, and you can send votes. And every day, my time at least, at about noon my time, I get a number of votes based on my portfolio value or my key price. I'm not sure which. I think it's actually key price. Because of the massive capitulation we've seen over the weekend, from Friday all the way through essentially yesterday, Tuesday, we have seen down only with a couple of little relief pumps, and we're definitely, I think we've hit relative bottom for now, guys, and a lot of keys are on sale. I'm going to go into that in a little bit, but I wanted to talk about the votes, and because my key price is at 0.13, I get about 4,500 votes at noon every day at noon. So I can vote with those. I can do 100% of those votes if I want to. I can do 50% of those votes. I can use this slider to send one vote if I want to, or 10, or any denomination of what you have left. And currently the meta, from what we understand from Racer for this week's airdrop period, is actually who's getting the most votes. Whoever gets the most votes will be weighted in favor of the points drop on Friday, and with the snapshot being taken on Thursday still. So one thing about the capitulation, here is a little bit of a window into what happened. CBB OFE or 0FE is, I believe number 2 in rankings right now as far as on the leaderboard. I could check that, but I'm not going to do that right now. But CBB OFE or 0FE was the top player in all of Friend.Tech until this weekend, where he and a lot of associated accounts took a lot of TVL off the platform because of some gripes with Racer and the team at Friend.Tech, because they didn't like the distribution of points. So they're used to getting 100 plus points per ETH every single week, and last week they got under 100 and kind of threw a fit, to be honest with you. I felt like it was a little bit unjustified, but here is their reasoning. The team has to, all they have to do is nerf Sybil farms and reduce platform fees to let us have fun again. Nothing is more easy. They've kept it lighthearted, thankfully. We can't take away from FT is, what you can't take away from FT is that it's a very happy and really fun place. In 7 years in crypto, we had never met as many people and laughed as much as on FT. That is the truth, guys. If you haven't played with Friend.Tech, it's a great place to meet people, have a laugh, it's lighthearted until until you get dumped on, right? But for the most part, guys, I'm making connections. I am down a little bit my portfolio value. Let me refresh Friend Pro right now and see where I'm at. I was up an ETH last time I spoke on this update, and I believe I'm down at least 2 ETH now. So I've had a 3 ETH swing, if not more, at this point, and it's been rough. I got to be honest. We saw a lot of accounts just completely disregard 3.3 and nuke like crazy. Yeah, so I'm down 2.1 ETH, which is really hard. But at the same time, I kind of expect it with an airdrop situation like this. You're going to get, if you're farming airdrop, guys, it is risky business. No matter if you're doing it on chain or in an app, you have the potential to lose money because you're part of the beta testing period, right? So down 2 ETH. However, I do want to say that if I go into Friend.Tech and check my airdrop points, I am over 6,000 points, which is very great in my opinion, because if we see a point per, if at the end of the airdrop period or the beta period, they do the airdrop and each point represents 1 token and the token is worth $1, I've actually made up my loss and then some. So currently the price of Ethereum is right at $2,000. So if we, even at a conservative, which seems to be the case, I mean, there was last week a drop of the CBB Friend.Tech point token, which represented essentially 1 point per, and we're looking at about a $3 token price for that. I should check that out. I haven't in a couple days, so I should probably do that, maybe even on this video. But with a conservative $1 per point, guys, I'm actually up about 1 ETH at this current rate. So I'm sitting happy. I mean, sure, I put a lot of work in, but I've also made a lot of connections, and I do believe those connections will be more profitable than maybe even the airdrop will be in this next bull market, as we talk about alpha in our channels. And we get to expand our influence on Twitter Spaces. And those who are building connections now and getting on Twitter Spaces and making a name for themselves are going to be the ones that get the gigs when protocols are looking for help, looking for advisors, looking for people that have been in the space for a long time, and they'll choose us who have been grinding, right, to be their advisors. So I do think the profits can't just be looked at on a micro level. You can't look at your PV, your portfolio value, and in ETH regards, and actually say that you're at a loss without considering all of the peripheral benefits that you will receive, especially on Friend.Tech, because it's so social. You're going to make connections which will expand your network and your net worth, right? So one thing, let's just go check on that CBB token. I believe I looked at it last week. Let's go to Dex Screener. CBB points are sitting at $2.34. That has capitulated, obviously, with the price of a lot of keys recently. So we've seen it go from, it had this massive massive pump at launch, which was crazy bullish to see. But then, we've settled at just over $2. So even at $2 per point, guys, I'm at about $12,000 for our Friend.Tech drop, which is about what I have in portfolio value right now. I think I'm somewhere near that 13,000 maybe. Actually, I think it's this portfolio. So let's find out here. I have, about $12,900 in $13,000 rather in Ethereum in my my wallet for Base, which includes all of my Friend.Tech stuff. So this is my Friend.Tech specific wallet, including 0.012 in Ethereum, and then all of my keys makes up the other 6.5 Ethereum inside of this. Now, I was as high as 10.5, so that's a little rough to see. In fact, it just kills me. I was up to 10.5 ETH in this portfolio. So I was actually up closer to 2 ETH, which is rough to see, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna farm this airdrop till the bitter end. I did lose some value and some keys, especially in a couple of 3-3ers. I'm not going to call anybody out because there was a lot of people that left, and some will come back, and I don't want to break any friendships there. I do think some of the people that even defected in the 3-3s will be valuable connections in the bull run, so I don't want to call anybody out. But let's look at a couple Twitter. Now, there's a couple other variables that did happen. Now, there was a narrative of a lot of blur farmers wrapping up their blur farming on November 20th and coming into Friend.Tech. Now, those blur farmers, a lot of them did make quite a bit of money on season 2 of the blur airdrop farm. However, Blur did come out with a layer 2 based on the OP stack that they're now giving as an alternative, like a season 3 essentially of an airdrop. And so that's kind of taken the steam out of that narrative, as most of the Blur farmers are continuing to farm Blur with their earnings, which I think is really smart for Paradigm and all those who are backing the Blur. Now, Paradigm is a backer for Friend.Tech as well, so that's cool. Now, there are some Blur farmers that are off-ramping and coming into Friend.Tech, as it has maybe a little more staying power or proven ability to hold value, but that did kind of collapse thanks to Drake for posting the Blast airdrop and info about Blast layer 2. Now, other things, this is great. This is a great thread from from Luke's here. I love this graphic. Make Friend.Tech great again. Kim Jong-un with the MAGA hat is so hilarious. But anyway, some sentiment here. This is interesting. There was a great Spaces yesterday that I got to listen to a bit of, and then here are some of the takes from it. Remember, we're in the beta phase, guys. Expect the unexpected. Understand that our investment could hit rock bottom, but that's the essence of this massive social experiment we're a part of. Here's a wake-up call. Throwing big money around doesn't give you a say in FT's direction. Now, he's talking about CBB and others, right? We need to remember Friend.Tech was never just about trading and flipping keys, and we're the ones who shaped this meta. It was all about building something new and connecting with people ever since the beginning. Pointing fingers now, that's on us. So we're talking about specifically the capitulation. A lot of people are upset about their PVs being down. A lot of people bought multiples of other keys, and when you buy multiples, it's like having leverage. So when that key drops, you're dropping not only the key value, but double the key value, right? So we've got to take a step back and see the bigger picture. It sucks to watch your investment plummet, but panicking won't help. It's about what value we can add now. So we have to grind more, guys, right? On the topic of features, let's be real. Adding and ditching them as a part of the beta drill is a part of the beta drill. It's just part of it. What matters is crafting an app that benefits all in the long run. And hey, just because Racer doesn't always follow the big players' tunes doesn't mean he's deaf to the community. There's been a lot of speculation that Racer's just taking home all his FT winnings. They're just taking the millions of dollars in ETH and pocketing it between Paradigm and Racer and all that. And I just don't think that's the case, guys. I do think there's going to be a treasury built on the fees that are collected. I think Racer may even have some of his own fees. He's made over 120 ETH himself in just trading fees on his key. And he hasn't really invested much in the platform himself as far as ETH in his portfolio. However, I do think he's justified in making that money, even if he keeps it, guys. 120 ETH is his working fee, right, for making this creating this great platform for all of us to build relationships upon. Let's talk about FT's massive revenue locked away at the time of this tweet. The proportion already 90% of the TVL. So that's 90% of the TVL is actually what FT has made in fees. And so total value lock doesn't include those fees, I don't think. In fact, I think TVL is just what's on the platform. Those fees taken 90% of the TVL has been created in fees as well. No one really knows what's going to happen with it, but the potential to reinvest in our ecosystem is huge. And that's what I'm believing, guys. I do believe that the majority of the fees collected will be used to either put into a treasury in order to back the token, or it could even be airdropped to us in the form of Ethereum, which would be incredible. However, I'm leaning towards the former, as Paradigm as you would expect, would want to see some sort of token launch for their investment, and then be able to capitalize on the investment by selling at some point in the near future. Probably similar, probably after the drop. What I understand from investors, VCs in particular, they typically try to sell off a third of their tokens, especially if you get a 3x, meaning you cover your investment, right? So that's what I would imagine will happen, and that depends on how much money they've put into the system and at what point the token hits that price, and they will definitely sell a portion of that as VCs, right? So TLDR, through the storm, true friends shine brighter than ever. Thank you, Lukes, for your sentiment here. I think it's very positive. There's a lot of Chads in this wizard, and let's see, Aiden was amazing on the spaces last night. That was cool to meet him. I didn't talk to him directly, but that's a new face for me. Hammond Burr is a OG, and lots of these funny memes. Anyway, let's go back to grinding, guys. Happy Thanksgiving if you're in the States. Grind it out through the weekend if possible, but make sure to touch grass, enjoy the family. Get in there, have some fun, say hi to the fam on Friend.Tech, and say hi to me as well. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content just like this. Follow me on Twitter and on Telegram at All Things ETH, and hit me up there for any questions you might have about Friend.Tech and anything that I've mentioned at the previous start of this video. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will be back next week with another Friend.Tech update. So have a great weekend, and God bless.